If your DevOps role has been open for 6 weeks, this isn't a tight market. It's more than just a tight market. It's a deep structural problem. We placed more than a dozen DevOps engineers in a single quarter recently. Almost every search started the same way. A hiring manager called after their internal process had stalled for weeks, sometimes months. So, let's take a look at what is actually happening behind the scenes. Cloud adoption is now standard. DevOps platforms are becoming embedded across engineering teams. Demand keeps rising. But the number of engineers who can genuinely operate at the intersection of cloud, automation, security, and collaboration has not kept pace. This gap isn't temporary, it's structural, and that changes how you need to hire. When companies say the market is tight, what they often mean is this: we posted the job, ran our normal process, and strong candidates disappeared. That's not a labor cycle issue. That's competition moving faster than you. Let's talk compensation. Many hiring managers are still using 2022 salary data. That's costing them candidates. Entry-level DevOps engineers are landing in the mid-5 figures to low 6 figures. Mid-level engineers are in the 120 to 160 range. Senior engineers and architects regularly clear 200. That's base. Total compensation at larger companies can push much higher once equity and bonuses are included. You do not have to match big tech dollar for dollar, but you do have to be credible. If your compensation is below market, your growth story, tech stack, and autonomy need to close the gap, and you need to communicate that early. Now let's address the uncomfortable part. Your process is probably the problem. Strong DevOps engineers have multiple conversations going at once. If you take 6 to 8 weeks to decide, someone else won't. The best-run hiring processes close inside 3 weeks. 5 or 6 interview rounds for a mid-level role? That's self-inflicted damage. 10 days between interview and feedback? Candidates read that as disinterest. Algorithm puzzles for infrastructure roles? That signals misalignment. The companies that win move with intention. They evaluate real-world skills. They cut unnecessary steps. And they sell the opportunity during every conversation. Speed signals confidence. Delays signal dysfunction. Now let's talk skills. Most job descriptions list 15 requirements. Maybe 5 are real. Kubernetes is baseline. If a candidate cannot speak fluently about deploying, scaling, and managing production clusters, they are not ready. Terraform and infrastructure as code are no longer differentiators. They are expected. Deep knowledge in one cloud platform matters more than surface familiarity across 3. CI and CD design thinking is critical. The tool matters less than the system's mindset behind it. Docker is table stakes. Where we see premiums right now is in DevSecOps. Engineers who embed security into the pipeline are commanding higher compensation. Platform engineering is rising quickly. Building internal developer platforms that allow teams to self-serve infrastructure is becoming a strategic advantage. And soft skills matter more than most leaders admit. DevOps exists to reduce friction across teams. An engineer who cannot communicate trade-offs creates new bottlenecks. Let's answer the big questions we hear. How much does it cost to hire a DevOps engineer in 2026? Base salaries range from roughly $85,000 at entry level to well over $220,000 for senior architects. DevSecOps specialists often earn 10 to 20% more. What's the difference between DevOps and DevSecOps? DevOps focuses on automation and reliability. DevSecOps integrates security into that pipeline from the beginning. How long should the process take? 3 weeks from first conversation to signed offer is achievable. Beyond that, you are increasing your risk of losing strong candidates. Here's the bottom line. This market rewards clarity and speed. Be honest about the role. Pay competitively or articulate a compelling story. Streamline your process and evaluate what truly matters. If your DevOps search has been open longer than it should be, it may not be a sourcing issue. It may be structural. If you want a second set of eyes on it, our team at Core One is always open to a conversation.